Deep in this lake, a contagious cancer is spreading. Lake Memphremagog, straddling the Vermont-Quebec border, has become the unanticipated home to a disease that looks like melanoma but moves from fish to fish, like a microscopic parasite. Back in 2012, anglers began noticing strange velvety black growths on brown bullhead catfish. Clinicians and wildlife biologists eventually confirmed the tumors were skin cancers, a strikingly rare condition for these fish. Surprisingly, more than a third of the bullheads carried them. In the spring of 2024, researchers published a paper that traced the outbreak to a single fish that developed a tumor, shed cancer cells into the lake's water, and inadvertently seeded a plague. It's the first time a contagious tumor has been documented in fish, expanding the list that already included the canine transmissible venereal tumor in dogs, the devil facial tumor disease in Tasmanian devils, and a few transmissible tumors in clams and shellfish. The scientist at the center of this discovery is Julie Dragan, a geneticist at the University of Vermont. She didn't set out to find a malicious, moving cancer. In 2014, Thyorami biologists at the Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department enlisted her to help figure out why brown bullheads were getting sick. For a decade, an odd tumor pattern had persisted, but no clear cause emerged. The usual suspects, ultraviolet light, pollution from a nearby landfill, even bacterial or viral infections, were ruled out. Levels of pollutants found in the fish were low, and no viruses or bacteria known to trigger cancer were detected. Then Dragan and her team turned to DNA. They compared the mutated genes in the tumor cells to Thyogenes genetics of the fish themselves. In each normal fish, a tumor would be expected to bear a genetic fingerprint similar to its host. Instead, all the tumor cells shared a striking similarity to one another but not to the fish they grew on. "I said, we made a mistake. This can't be right," Dragan recalls. Their first analysis was shelved, and they started over, investigating whether the data might have been corrupted or misinterpreted. Their repeat assessment yielded the same result. The cancer's genetic signature was the same across different fish, suggesting that the cancer cells were moving independently, riding the water like a version of a living pathogen. This finding raises provocative questions. Some scientists argue that a transmissible tumor should be considered a new species, because it meets all the criteria for a living organism: it survives, replicates, and moves. Others suggest that some animal species might have ancient origins as cancer cells that adopted new host relationships over millions of years. In any case, the Memphremagog case demonstrates that nothing of this kind has been recorded in fish before. The study urges researchers to ask, is contagious cancer rarer than we think, or simply undersampled? Julie Dragan's own perspective reflects the case's impact. We shouldn't know how many, if any, other species might have cultivating oncogenic parasites also roaming in their habitats. Beyond the immediate biosecurity and ecological implications for the lake, the study offers a cautionary lens on the interplay between environment and disease. It is a reminder that hidden pathogens can now be as common as we fail to detect them. The fish might harbor more anomalies yet. The next steps? Wider surveys of aquatic ecosystems, perhaps bones to map any presence of transmissible cancers in other fish populations. Meanwhile, Lake Memphremagog remains a watery laboratory under the rim of a Canadian forest, where a cancer spreads not through a person's blood, but through a simple fish's bloodstream, carried through benthic mud for miles. Thank you for joining me as we delve into a quiet but unsettling contagion, reminding us of the unseen forces shaping nature. Stay curious, and stay tuned for more updates on this evolving story. Until next time, this is Narrator Name, signing out. Can you keep that in mind? Thanks for listening.